Hi everyone, I'm Sarah Childhood Finds. We are doing our weekly What Sold video. It has been another good week of sales. I worked hard this week and I'm going to keep trying to keep it up. But I wanted to go over some stats to start with. And so this week I actually sold 76 listings worth of items, which was amazing for February. And I actually sold on all 4 of my platforms. I am starting to play a little bit with going on to Etsy. So I think within the coming weeks, I will probably start cross-listing on Etsy. I just gotta get the mechanics of it and figure it out. And then I think that it could help. I know that it can be good sales for the vintage items. And I'm so focused on moving items now that I mean, 5 platforms, I've got to move some stuff, right? So how it broke down was 1 was on Depop, 1 on Mercari. I'm not gonna be able to show those to you today. Both the websites decided they were just gonna be little turkeys, so they weren't big, exciting sales or anything. And then I had 68 on eBay that sold and 6 on Poshmark. So Poshmark really made a showing, but I made a real big oopsie on Poshmark that made it not as good. So I'll share that when I get to it. It was a dumb mistake, but it happens. And my gross sales on eBay alone was $2,285.66. And my total listings this week, I am pushing and I'm hoping to get even higher than this. This week I might not get there, but I am really trying. I did 107 new listings and that totaled out to $3,616 worth of value for all of those items. So I'm really pushing to try to get there. And then I wanted to answer one quick question that I thought was a very valuable question. Sorry, let me turn this so I can put up a screenshot. A very valuable question to ask. And it was essentially, when you sell something for $700 and profit is $500, is the different eBay fees? And so what they were referring to is my last video, I had sold a sterling silverware set, and it definitely seemed like a lot was taken out when I talked about my profit. So it's an absolutely great question to ask. And I will say, once you get into those higher dollar sales, it is a chunk that comes out. And how it did break down was the total value of all the items was $707.85. And the shipping was $8. I should have charged more in shipping, honestly. I was giving them a deal so that they would buy all of it because I really needed the cash, but I probably should have charged more in shipping. And the sales tax that they paid was $65.47. And then keep in mind those eBay fees are on that full total, and the total of all of that they paid was $781.32. So the fees are on that total. And so then you'll see that in the screenshot, we took out the sales tax. eBay takes that. Then you take out the fees, nearly $100 in fees. It is significant. And I did a promotion, an ad fee. I honestly probably shouldn't have with Sterling. I tend to do ads all across. I tend to promote every single item because I feel like it does help move my items. But honestly, I probably shouldn't have done it with this. I'm going to start reevaluating as I go forward on what items should be promoted or not. And I'll talk about those in the future. And then the shipping was high because I did insure it, because this would be the one package that got lost in the mail. So it was expensive to insure because it was a high value item. So that is the breakdown. That's a great question to ask. And then also $11 was the cost of goods too. So then you'll see that the total, I didn't write that down, was around $580 that I made off eBay. And then you take out $11 for the cost of goods. So that is that question. And now we're going to get started on sales. I have a lot to share with you. Some decent sales, really pretty good. I mean, for February, my sales right now are up over 90% from last February, which is amazing. And my total sales for the year to date, are up about 25% from last year. So I'm really starting to see some progress. So keep pushing, guys. Just keep listing, doing all the things that you can. So let's get started on some sales. First one is a Folkmanis. You guys know I love Folkmanis. It's the cutest darn plush you can find. And it's Folkmanis Toad Bullfrog Hand Puppet. This was a full body one. It sold for $19.95. I got an estate sale for a couple bucks with a bunch of other folk monas that day. Then here's some of my Department 56. It is really starting to sell, and I am getting closer to finishing listing it all, kinda. And so this one is Department 56 Snow Village. This is sitting in the Village accessory. This one did have a tiny little flaw that I did include, but it still sold for 10% off, so around $31. This is new Creative Memories scrapbook album, Eggplant Purple Kaleidoscope. So Creative Memories is one of those things that when a lot of the scrapbooks, the older ones, when they're sealed, there is no marking to let you know it's Creative Memories, so you just kind of have to learn what the style looks like, and that's definitely why I was able to find these at the thrift store, is I know the style. I did pay up at about $7 for it, but it sold for $29.71, and it was very easy to list. This is new with tag Calvin Klein high-rise straight crop distressed jeans, women's size 31. These have been listed a very long time, so when I got an offer of $16, I just said, that's fine. As I continue to say, guys, I'm all about taking offers and doing discounts right now because, I mean, for the most part, I just really want to move items and get ready for scaling up in the next phase of my business. So $16 is 16 bucks. These have been listed a long time. This is a Gosset bronze duck bird decoy sculpture, handmade in Canada. I can't remember. I got this here in Carson. I cannot remember where, but I have the memory of looking it up and going to get Qdoba. It's the things that my brain decides are important are wild to me. I know I didn't pay very much for it, but I can't tell you exactly how much or where it came from. Probably in an estate sale, but it sold for $25, and it sold pretty quick after listing. Get a set in death by a while. This was a very pretty scarf. I do enjoy Ed Hardy stuff, but this is an Ed Hardy 100% silk multicolored tiger floral scarf. It sold on my sale. I have a 15% off sale going on the majority of my inventory right now, and it sold for $16.96. And I think I have bet $1 into it. This is one of my Easton Press books. I have $10 into this one, and it's Easton Press Around the World in 80 Days, 1983, leather bound, and it sold for the $50.96 that you see. So this lot, this is Campbell's Soup Trick or Treat Kids. Along with this lot, this is Gathering Pumpkins. And this lot, Halloween Parade set of 3. All 3 of those sold to the same buyer for a total of $68, and that buyer has actually come back and already bought 5 more items. So I was able to package all of them together on Monday, which was nice. And it was a good sale, really good sale for $68 for those 3. Here's a little bit of flatware. This one's an interesting one. It's Wilton Marietta Armatail Pewter. It's actually pewter, stainless flatware soup spoons. This part is pewtered, the handle is. And 4 soup spoons selling for $12 is great. Because you guys know how I feel about soup spoons. They are frustrating. They take forever. But yeah, that was a good price for that. And I got that in a Goodwill grab bag. This is the Dungeon Dozen 1 and 2 random tables. Yeah, random tables for fantasy RPGs. And this one, neither of these books sold great separate, so I paired them together. I got these from my new source, and it sold for $24.95 very quickly. And this is Bobbi Brown Intensive Serum Foundation, Warm Natural. I am done with this Bobbi Brown foundation. It was not a good buy. It's going to take forever to sell it. I'm eventually maybe going to make a huge lot of it, but I got most of it listed. This set sold for $25.46, which is great because I only paid $1 a piece. So I think I'm touching profit now on it, but some of the Bobbi Brown stuff can sell, but this just wasn't the best stuff to buy. This is a Force Field Body Armor EXK Harness Flight, size large, and it's motocross, and it sold for $203.96. I actually got this at the thrift store for $8, and I could not believe it, because I got the elbow pads and the knee pads with it, or shoulder pad. I got 2 other things with it as well. So really great. And this is Skechers Creston Mosecco slip-on shoes. And I've sold this pair of shoes before, but this pair specifically sold for 20 bucks. I think I have $1 or $2 into them. Here's Oneida Damask Rose dinner fork. So this lot and this lot of dinner forks, so 7 dinner forks and 7 or 6 soup spoons. I didn't put a lot of 6 in there. Oh, but besides the point, all 3 of those sold to the same buyer for $75. And that is up from a lot I picked up on Marketplace for $50. This is Zondervan Holy Bible. It was 64 CDs, and it was basically in brand new condition, and it did sell for my sale price of $29.71. I actually picked this up at the Goodwill for $4.99. I was surprised it wasn't priced higher there. This has been listed for a couple years, but it's a tiny little plush, and it's 6-inch Aurora World Mini Flopsy Plush Saber Smilodon Stuffed Animal. Sold for $11.86. I don't care that it took that long. It was tiny. And this is Department 56 Halloween Village Accessories. This is the Spooky Lemonade stand, and it sold for $32 on a best offer. And it is cute. There you can see it. It's cute. Here's some Anna Lee, and it's a 1995 Easter Bunny Kid Child with basket and eggs. Get your Easter stuff listed. I saw this in my death pile and went, yep, you gotta get up right now. And it sold for $14.95 very quickly. And I think I have $1 or $2 into it. Here's a teensy tiny little Department 56 that sold, and this one is the Snowboard Artist. Sold for $39.95. It is like 2 inches big. It is so tiny, and you're gonna see I sold another big piece of Department 56 for $40, so you never know with this stuff what's gonna be valuable and what's not. And here's a Bear Plush Toy Craft Kit Thistle. And this was vintage. It was 1984. It was basically create your own plush bear. And it still sold for $19.51. I think I paid $2 at an estate sale. It's not bad. Here's another Easton Press. And this one's a Peanuts Christmas. And it's Snoopy Charlie Brown. It sold for $50.96 as well. And I have 10 into it. And then here's that other piece of Department 56 that sold for $40. So a big display piece sold for the same as that little teensy tiny snowboard artist. And this is the lighted Campbell's soup counter. And it sold for $39.95. These I probably could have got more eventually, but buyer left good feedback. They're happy. And it sold for $18. And these are bare bottom sand dune men's XXL stretch elastic waist shorts. Sold for $18. I paid $2. They're so easy. It's fine. This is a 5-shock USA Super 505 model. It's an electric fence essentially for farm animals. And I got it at the Goodwill for $15 and sold it for $70. And it sold within a couple days. This was not a great buy. It's a lot of 8 Dog Man children's hardcover kids scholastic books. It would have been fine if I didn't pay as much. I think I ended up paying like $10 for this lot. It did sell for $29.95, but it took quite a while to sell. So I would have liked to have more like 50 cents into each of these books. Then I definitely would have been more happy with the sale. But this is, you can lot up these kids' books. I'm going to start doing some more, book lots and things as I move forward. But it's okay, just pay a little less than they did. This is a Ravensburger puzzle, 500 pieces, and this is Dragon Whisperer, and it sold for $16.95. Just a reminder, I do have a Ravensburger puzzle video, so all about the high value ones. I can link that in the description for you guys if you haven't watched it, or you need a refresher. And I didn't realize I had a fair amount of Easton Press good sales, and this one's 1999 Victory Without War Volume 5, and this is a Richard Nixon one, and it sold for around $60 or so on an offer. And I sold this one, and the buyer actually came back and bought another one that I think was this week or the last week or something. One of the others. He bought 2 eventually. But this I got in an online auction, and it's been listed for well over a year. And then here is the Passion Translation New Testament 2018 edition, blue leather, soft, large print. Sold for $28.95, and I paid $2.99 at the Goodwill for it. And this is just a reminder, even with Bibles, if my computer will allow me to show you, it's okay if there's markings in it. So if there's names, etc., you know, just show them. Be honest that it's in there. It can still sell. So just be aware, if it's desirable, it can still sell. And this is Department 56 Christmas Lighted Snow Village Pizza Pizza, and it sold for $29.95. It was a pretty decent sale. And then we have some Poshmark, and we're getting into my dumb mistake. I did want to say, so Depop, that I'm not showing you today because it was being weird. I've done well with belt buckles on Depop. So just if you do try Depop, the belt buckles do well. The toys that are more collectible, I guess, or just more recognizable, like Five Nights at Freddy's, my Pokemon stuff does well there. So that kind of stuff, the things that the young kids like, is what sells well there. And I still haven't sold much there, but it's worth the extra little effort. And especially once I start getting Etsy going, then I'll have Mercari, Poshmark, Etsy, and Depop. And this week I managed 8 cross-listing sales, so if I could start averaging out about 10 a week, then that's a good chunk of change. This is 1993 Anna Lee 20-inch Christmas Red Elf posable doll with tag. Pretty much anytime I get a decent offer on Poshmark, I tend to take it because it's just so easy to sell on Poshmark. I love being able to just package into priority mail shipping or priority boxes when I can, but this sold for 28 bucks. And this is Teddy Ruxpin 2017 animated storytelling bear, and it sold for 22. This newer Teddy Ruxpin, it takes a long time to sell. I sold 2 of them, and both of them took 6+ months. So this one's well over a year that it took. Maybe if it was priced a little lower, it would have sold faster. It's the older Teddy Ruxpin that people want. This was my dumb mistake that makes me so sad because I love this plush. And it's a Dakin 1988 Foofer Blue plush dog. And it had little suction cups. It was a bloodhound. So I should have just kept it because it could go with my little bloodhound. But it sold for $30, and I packed it up and didn't put a label on it, and then dropped it off at the post office like a genius. So, even if I have sold thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of items, and you still make mistakes. So anytime you guys make mistakes, it's okay, guys. It happens. I'm mad at this because I like this plush, and I would have just kept the darn thing if I knew I was going to just throw it away, basically. So I'm not getting the money on this plush because it's lost forever, essentially, to me. There is no getting it back from the post office once I realized it happened. So just, we all make mistakes, and it's okay. This was a dumb mistake, but it happens, and I'm going to make more of them. It is what it is. And here's one more. This is a Cloud Island Brown Doodle Puppy Dog Security Blanket. It had satin trim, and this one sold for $18. I could have held out, got a few more bucks for it, but it sold. I paid $1 for it at a thrift store. I'm happy with the sale. So I got through those very fast. I don't usually get through all of my sales so fast. I think I talk too much, or I talk too fast. But besides that, that's all the sales for this week, guys. I have a couple videos in the works, and hopefully I'll be able to get out a haul video, and my Department 56 will either be this week or next week. I'm just right now staring at what's left. It's a lot of the big stuff left, and it takes a while to list the big Department 56 because you got to get it out of the darn package, inspect everything, get all the pictures, test it. It's time consuming, but it might have to be until next week that video goes out. So that's all I have for you guys this week, and thank you so much for joining me for this wet sold video, and I'll see you on the next one.